Welcome to Women Forward segment, a future forward podcast by Orange Leaf Consulting. Our guest today is not only an accomplished entrepreneur, but also a passionate advocate for smarter and more effective hustling in business. So I met her recently at an event, and then we connected, and I felt like she has so much to share, and that's something that we can actually be inspired. So let's welcome Sasha Tan from Dear Hustlers. Welcome.
Hi.
Hey.
Really glad to be here.
Thank you for accepting my invite for this podcast.
And I'm very captivated by your room.
Yeah, but it's also like this is only a second episode, just to let you know.
Yeah. My honor.
Yeah. So thank you for coming to share more inspiring story with women out there. Maybe before we start, we talk about yourself. Maybe you can do a short introduction. What do you do? Because your profile is quite long, on the website. It's quite a lot to share. Myself, I just pass it to you and just do it.
Okay, sure. In short, currently I'm the founder of Dear Hustlers. So basically, I help founders to position their brands effectively. So when they scale, they won't need to waste a lot of time and a lot of money. So that's basically what I do right now. But the reason why I can be doing what I'm doing is because I used to build a lot of brands. I'm a serial brand builder lah.
Yes. In case you do not know, this beautiful lady here actually built a lot of brand and actually sold a business in Singapore. Was it in Singapore? In Malaysia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it was in Malaysia. It was called Faithful.
Faithful.
How do you spell it? Pronounce it?
Faithful. Faithful.
Yeah, Faithful.
Yes.
Okay, Faithful.
So I realize I always come up with very, very hard to
mouthful
pronounce name because my cereal brand is called Seriously now, but everyone pronounce it as like curious.
Yeah. So, what is that brand all about?
The cereal brand?
Cereal and then Faithful.
Faithful basically is kind of like a trip advisor for beauty products. So it's a social commerce platform. So behind the platform, we had like 150 million social media reach that time.
Wow,
so
that's a
we
lot.
use that to kind of like recommend product or basically review products, and then we also sell them lah.
Wow.
Then for Seriously, basically it's like a fun food company that we are trying to make a lot of like guilty pleasure food fun.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean like guilty pleasure food is already fun, but we want to make it more like less guilt lah.
Less guilt.
Not less guilt.
So
it's like no guilt at all.
If you eat like potato chips, but it's
healthy. Hopefully. So right now
does it exist?
We started with cereal.
Okay.
Basically, it's like puffcorns, right? Popcorn snacks, things like that. So yeah,
it's available in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Where?
In Village Grocer, Healthlink.
Really?
Vans,
okay, you gotta find out like where is it, because even I don't know about it. Like that's why you see I like to invite women with inspiring stories, and there's so much ideas that you can get from them. As we women, we always like being inspired and also collect ideas from other women, right? We empower each other. So in this case, so Faithful, you sold it, and how much did you sell? How much did you sold it? Can you tell? Like how much did you raise? Oh.
But we raised quite a lot. I mean, not a lot now. I think we raised like $1 million.
Wow, millionaire.
But that was in the beginning of the stage. After that, we profitable. We didn't really raise anymore.
Then you sold a few years back, right?
Yeah, in 2022.
Wow. What makes that decision to sell?
A lot of different.
No passion anymore.
I mean, a lot of different reasons lah. The trends, opportunities.
Sometimes when it's time to sell, you want to sell, you sell, and then you find something else to do.
Yeah, I know I still have a lot in me for sure. So I wasn't really like, hey, this is the end of the world or something lah.
I was told once, once you're entrepreneur, you're forever an entrepreneur in blood.
You know, that's something that I actually struggle with, because that time when I know I already was like, you know, selling a company, I actually worried for a second, and I was like, hey, how if I cannot lose this entrepreneur identity, right?
Yeah.
It has been my identity all along.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
actually I was quite panicked. That's why I started a new venture even before I sold. So actually,
so
I-
kanchiong ah.
Yeah, my intention to start seriously was not healthy to begin with, to be very honest. I was like, hey, I'm an entrepreneur. You know, the obvious things to do is to continue building, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If not, how? I'm not an entrepreneur anymore. It's like I will lose the identity. But it's not true lah. Right now, I'm at Dear Hustler. I'm a coach, right? I'm a strategist, and I realized that is actually something that it's even more fulfilling for me,
Okay.
because I love putting things into structures. I love guiding. I love nurturing people. I love building brands. And that doesn't mean that you have to be an like full-time, you know, like all-in kind of entrepreneur, right? I can also be entrepreneur in that way.
Yeah, of course. And also, I think when not too sure, but I was thinking in my mind that sometimes how we measure success also very different in terms of landscape, in terms of different phase in life. In that phase, maybe that definition of success was that, but now the definition of success maybe is when you see somebody very successful personalize their own branding to be out there and follow your method, then you will feel satisfied. Can I say that?
Not really. I know I have a passion to build brands lah. So that was something that I realized from my 7 years of entrepreneurship in Faithful. So I realized that, hey, I just really, really love to build, and I want to see succeed. But the rest of it, it's more like, hey, I had to do what I had to do so that I can do this, you know?
Yeah.
So right now I'm like continuously doing what I love, which is, I'm very
I saw
grateful.
your LinkedIn is like recent one are very inspiring. You write a lot of your own journey as well, and on the day to day, you're very active in posting. Like
I try.
as the moment I have free time and I turn on my LinkedIn, I will read yours first. Yours will definitely pop up first. And then we'll talk about, you know, today's strategy, today, how do you do this, how do you do that? Maybe I can ask that question. Because a lot of people out there confuse between PR, branding, and marketing. So what is branding then?
Okay, since you are in PR, maybe you
Yes.
you can share what PR is, and then I share what branding is. Then we can draw the conclusion.
You know, I like all my guests, right? They always like to reverse the interview and ask me back in return. The last guest was also the same.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to.
I mean,
speak
it's
for-
no, it's good.
you
It's
are
good.
the
I like
expert, right?
I like this kind of interview is because, you know, like it shows that there's no one set of life or template in life as well. You know, like you can actually exchange a lot of knowledge, and as a woman, this kind of exchange, it's actually very healthy. Instead of, you know, I say what you do and then you just do. And in this case, back to your question, what is PR? So PR in short is our job is to craft a story that would influence others to believe in it. Right? It can be as small as a product or an individual story. Like I run Orange Leaf Consulting. I'm not a salesperson, but I'm able to craft a story about technology. That's how Orange Leaf started. I didn't study, I don't have any formula. When people first ask me about what is your go-to market, I'm like, what is that? I didn't understood that question at all, because I'll be very transparent about it, because PR do have its own tools, but when it comes to sales go-to-market, they are looking for very specific answers, and I didn't have that. I remember when they asked me in the meeting, and then people very curious like, you don't know anything, but how do you sell? You know, And I always believe that there's no one formula for everything. It's about, can you believe in your own self that you can craft something out of the box? So I did. So I crafted story about orange leaf. I craft the whole entire technology, which is low code, why it matters, and I start sharing as a story instead of selling as a product. And eventually people start looking into it, and it drives the attention and also the curiosity about it. And that's what PR is about. Your story, it's about positioning and magnifying the story into something that people don't know or don't believe, into believing in it. Yeah, so branding.
Yeah, so if you're saying PR is like telling a story, then branding is basically how you show up. So obviously you can tell a story about that person, but the person can show up differently, then your story doesn't match, right?
Yes.
So basically branding, be it on company or on personal, is really about how you show up. So when you show up, obviously there are two ways you show up. How you present yourself, right? The look and feel of yours, your personality, and then the other thing is how you speak.
Yes.
So the values that you advocate for, and the wording that you use, right? And the tone and things like that. So branding is really about when you step into the world, step into the room, who you are, how are you going to present that, how are you going to convey that. And I think you also compare marketing, right?
Yeah. So maybe you can share a bit of marketing, because that's not my expertise though.
So if let's say PR is story, branding is
Positioning.
Yeah. Then marketing is basically just an acceleration of whatever that we just do.
So it's where the activities and...
Correct. It's basically spreading.
Okay. Where the awareness.
Correct.
Go to market. I just say that again.
So PR also can be in marketing, right?
Yeah.
And then positioning can also be in marketing.
Yeah.
So basically marketing is just the spreading and accelerating whatever that we have built. But without the story, without the positioning, this marketing is going to go with empty shell.
Yeah, there's going to be headless chicken. Yeah. Agree.
So I think it all comes together.
It is. It's a whole package. But some clients, or while I was running my PR, client will only invest in one. Like even in corporate, depends on their budget. So they will always tell you depends on budget. Then every client will have different priorities as well.
To be very honest, I think I completely agree with this. When the budget is lower, usually they just pick marketing.
Fair. Then they make them do everything.
And then when they have a little bit more budget, then they do PR. And then when they are really like, hey, feeling abundance, then they do branding. So usually when they do branding, right, usually they do like a big revamp. Yes. But actually branding is not the look only, right? It's the positioning. And it actually should come first before everything else. When you don't have the positioning, your PR also don't know how to, story, whatever you stand for, right? Yeah. And then the marketing also don't know how to do.
Yep. I agree with you, because without branding, there's no story to tell, right? But you have to first identify the identity first. The identity comes when then there's a story, then only you go market. Where most of the time, you will just hear there's marketing. But when you ask the marketing...
We reverse lah.
Yeah. So I think it's very important that our audiences need to know that if you want to invest and you do not know what should do first or go first, I think it's good that you hear from Sasha, where branding must come first. Why? I totally agree, because I have friends who also do branding, right? If you don't have identity, you don't have a position, then people come to you, people can't tell or resonate with you, then it will become like, oh, hi, bye. It wouldn't be a loyalty. These days, in this digital era, it's very hard to buy loyalty unless you have something that people can resonate with, especially in F&B, like in food and all that, right? Yeah, I do totally agree with you on this one. So yeah, so there you got it. Branding comes first, and then you have PR. Please invest. Don't be stingy, because the ROI in long term is always, always, always. You will thank me after that. Then only you can activate the execution activities through the two items that we have just talked about. So let's go to the next thing about the philosophy: hustle smarter, not harder. How do you came up with this one?
I was a struggling entrepreneur for many years,
Mhm,
so I think it came from my experience that if I were to start again, this is definitely something that I want to strive for.
Does all your clients agree to it? I'm very curious.
For sure.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of my clients are bootstrap company, so they don't have big funding,
Yeah.
right? And they also kind of like chasing time. So basically, all kind of like run in the constraint of time and funding. So especially that in that situations, you need to hustle smarter, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, we can do more, we can hustle harder.
Hey, but do you have but then you have client. Do you have client that always come and tell you like, hey Sasha, you do everything lah?
No, I make it really clear that hey,
Okay.
I'm your brain, right? I'm the brains, I'm the strategies, but the execution is still within you and your company. Because it's your business, right?
Yeah.
If I can do it for you, then why don't I be the founder then?
That's true. Myself, I can just take over the company.
Yeah, I can just take over the company. Why do I have to like help you? I can just build your company myself.
Yeah. That's true. But let's be real. Have you encountered any difficult clients? And if yes, share a moment, because we want to keep as raw as possible, that people can resonate that life is never easy sailing. There's always bumps that we bump into, even though in business. Maybe one story that you cannot forget, that if you have. Don't tell me you don't have, right?
I have I have clients that are less than ideal, but to be very honest, I don't have any bad experience so far, because I'm actually helping the founders, right?
Yeah.
So the only situations that's gonna happen is that either they disagree with me or they don't want my help. So I did have one client who, but I don't think it's his fault like completely, because in the beginning when I first started, I do more hands-on, like coaching and like helping, things like that. Now I take a little bit
Step back.
Like take a step back lah, because everything is systemized already.
Yeah.
But when I first started, I'm always very passionate, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I started this is because I really want to see the business succeed.
Yeah.
So I remember we were on the call and I actually told the client, hey, actually these things take only 15 minutes because I already made the questions or things like that. Like I already have ready materials. Why didn't your team do it? So I was very much like invested in why the company didn't make progress.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't lah, because I'm a coach, right? I'm not really the founder. I'm not really a manager even. So that time when I say that, I think the founders kind of like felt offended.
Yeah, it's like taken aback, like why do you talk like that?
Yeah, and then
what happened after that? Was he
basically-
angry?
basically-
He or she first?
He.
Okay, was it angry or there was a debate, disagreement?
There wasn't debate,
Yeah.
but basically I thought as a coach I really need to push them forward, right? But I guess the founder didn't really want to be pushed, and so be it lah.
Yeah, I mean it's I can resonate that part, because I also have agencies take care of a lot of things, and sometimes when they chase me and I didn't do my part, I will start at the very beginning first. I will always tell them and clarify my style. I will always say that, look, I'm the founder, yet at the same time I have a lot of things to take care. If you cannot find me, this is what you need to do with me. I will always be very clear about the way of working with me, my style, because I have a lot of problems to take care, and there's a lot of opportunities. There are things to, you know, as a business owner, there's so many things to take care of, and sometimes there are also bad surprises, good surprises, depends, right? Whatever happens, it does require my energy and time. So when it comes to my back end, sometimes I would like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm like, oh, no energy. And then you have agency. Hello, Ellice. Is this Tan? Hello, Ellice. Hello. Hi. Good morning, Ellice. Hi. Hello. Hello. Then I would normally have to pass to someone else to take care of it, because sometimes my capacity is just beyond what I can handle. But I'm very, very direct. I'm a super direct person. I always tell people like, I'm very busy. I'll come back to you. And if, of course, I messed it up, then I will have to apologize, right? I think there's no right and wrong. I think it's good that you share that your experience with your client. It's something, it's just one fraction out of a lot of journey with other people as well.
Well, it was quite a disappointment because I really wanted them to succeed.
Most important, did they pay or not first?
No. Everyone paid way before.
Okay.
But it's just I cannot. I want them to succeed. It's not because of they haven't paid, right? So when they don't do their part, then I can't help them. So that's why, I felt like, hey, it's the same as any company, right?
Yeah.
If you drop the ball, I need to tell you dropped the ball.
But not every client can take it.
No, they came for me for coaching.
Yeah, but after that, normally they thought that we cannot say they, because we cannot conclude everyone is the same. Yeah. But I have experience in my PR time that client, they engage with me, and then because I need you to do this and that. So when you tell them to do it that time, suddenly they tell you what to do in return, and then when you chase them, it's like it's the wrong thing to do. Then they don't allow.
I think it's a little bit different because we are not like how to say, like they're not expecting me to do anything but to
coach,
guide and coach them. It's like when I was doing my job and then they felt like that wasn't something they wanted, so it was that kind of like moment now. So actually they dropped the whole progress altogether after that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because I to this day I still think about it, like should I push even more so that they continue to be on track, or like I just shouldn't push them at all and let them just like, because it's just 3 months, if you don't make progress, you're not gonna make progress.
But as a coach, I have coached as well. So what my coach did to me is that he usually would give me homework that I must do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was the homework that they needed to do.
So when I meet the person again, I must have something.
Correct.
Not if, actually it was. When I don't have my homework done, I better come straight first and tell.
Correct.
I would tell that actually I didn't do my work.
Correct.
But in my mind I roughly run through the questions or the work. Roughly I can tell you what I can come up with. As a person, I would do that, because my coach also gave me homework, like you go back and think, prioritize how you do your life. Right. Because I am a high achiever. So she gave me a homework about defining what I would set as priorities, and she gave me a long list and I have to set the priorities right. And then she realized that it's like, oh my God, Ellice, you can't do this. It's like everything is such a high achieving. You really have to go back to the drawing board and think about it. But even that got me like 2 to 3 weeks to just think about that question, like, because everything seems very important, right? Our emotion, our body, our work, our family, our love, everything seems like very important. But in life, there's only, on a day-to-day, there's only a segment of things that you can focus. And I was tasked to choose only 3. And a person like me who's so ambitious, it's quite challenging. So even that, I have to go like thinking progress and think what I want to do, what I want to focus. And even then, that's my homework. And on every session, I will be given a task to do something. And I'm accountable to it, because if I want to change, that's why I engage a coach too. tell me what I cannot see, my blind spot.
That's right.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, I mean, I guess in your case, some people just don't see the synergy, and then just, it is what it is. Can I say that?
Yeah, I mean, I got paid.
Sorry, my first question. Did you get the money? Because sometimes in PR, we don't get money, you know. The client will run away the money. No, the client, okay, my struggle when I was doing the PR, I run the PR company, is because when we collect money, we can collect like 50-60% first upfront. Then assume there's a media launch, right? What happened is you collect the deposit, and then you have to run the show. Then the client will call you every day while preparing. Do you have the media ready? Do you have the tier 1 media attend my launch? My media launch is very important. But you need to know that there are hundreds of things going at the same time, and client will always want the tier 1 media. And as a PR, we don't guarantee no matter what, because there's only a handful of media in the market, and you can't stretch them thin running your event, because there are other people also say their event is more important. And this is where the client will get very, very upset, and they will chase you sometimes like 12 midnight, 1 a.m. Depends on your mood lah, seriously. So if today they don't feel good, they will have to
chase you.
Yeah, they will chase you. Then not all clients are bad client. I have a really fantastic client, don't get me wrong, but I have clients that call at 1 a.m. just to approve a press release. Press release is 2 pages. Yeah, theirs is 12 pages.
Wow.
And they have to be in color. Then you're like,
In color?
in color some more. And then some more in color have to be on their letterhead. I say, tomorrow morning is event already. Now only you approve. I'm a very flexible person to work with, because I believe that every startup or small business have their own struggle. So I try to accommodate as much as I can. So that part, without drawing my boundary, actually hurt me the most. And then, no choice, I brought my printer to the office, because last minute what? So I do out of the box thing, carry my printer. I don't even want to use the client printer. Hey, but wow, at the end they didn't pay me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Serious?
They didn't pay the last balance.
Oh my god.
You know why?
The
You're not
performance.
professional because you brought your printer to office. How can a PR like you, not professional? I was like, I have to like sit half day to craft an email to defend myself on his own last minute
But I
press
thought
release.
I thought you went above and beyond,
Yes.
right? By bringing the
Yes.
printers out.
So then I was like, I will never forget, because I never sleep to make sure that you have a successful event with my members, with my team members, and the least say thank you, which it didn't, and this is big brands, then you complain, and then you fire your staff last minute. So one of the staff left 2 days or 3 days before event, and I have nobody to talk, as in like to liaise the project. And I have, in the end, was liaising with the person in charge, completely, always very angry. And then they last minute hired somebody like on board like 2 or 3 days. We completed everything. There were media turn up. I think it was about 23 of them. Why I remember is because they didn't pay me. Right? So that's why the pressure is something that I also want to touch the next point, talking to you, right? The fact that I always see you very calm. Probably, I mean, okay lah, we only met twice, right? But the first time when I met you, I was like, wow, this lady very calm, very zen. Any question come also very zen. I was like, very interesting. Like, how do you keep yourself so zen? Like, how do you balance work, pressure, and personal?
I think the zen part, right? It's because I've been through so much. I'm unfazed, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like really unfazed. Like nothing surprises me anymore.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, but in terms of like pressure wise, throughout the years I've been trained to have like high tolerance of pressure. Even the downtimes, or even like personal life, like breakup or whatever, like the most I'll be set for 1 week plus.
1 week plus?
And then I have no luxury to do that anymore.
Wow.
It's like I will do my best to extremely be sad, be mellow and stuff. Usually, like let's say I have some like challenging period
Okay.
of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I have some like challenging questions to ponder upon and
Yeah.
stuff, right? I'll spend maybe that day, that night,
Mm-hmm.
to really like feel the emotion
Mm-mm.
and basically just like do whatever I want just to make myself feel like, hey, you are still a human. And then next day, straight away go and find solution.
Wow, you power.
No choice, right? You have to move on. You can't stay there and be a victim.
Very good point.
Like life has so much more to offer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to stop here.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point to have. Like, I took longer time than you.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit slower. Because, okay, in terms of profile, I am more of an emotional and also an overthinker. Are you the same?
I'm emotional and overthink by nature because we are women, right?
Yeah.
But I think over the years I
Turn around.
learned to manage it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's very interesting because it's not easy though to manage emotions.
Definitely not.
It's
Definitely not.
really tough, especially women. I mean, I have women who are fully illogical. Like, you know, I have some tech ladies out there, no emotion one.
Yeah.
Then you're like, wow.
Also cannot lah.
Also cannot lah. That one is either like this side or this side. Yeah, find the middle ground, right?
Yeah.
Even my coach also say you cannot always like to the extreme left or to the extreme right. You have to be in the middle ground. Try to find the balance. Like, even, I mean, now I'm married, but when I broke up, it took me at least 6 months.
Yeah, the typical way is like people say that, hey, you take half of the time of your period together. So let's say you guys spend 6 years and you're gonna take 3 years to get through.
Ooh, wow.
So how long was that relationship that you were trying to get over?
That was only 2 years relationship.
3 years, you take 6 months. Good
Two
job.
years. 2 years.
2 years, 6 months. Great job.
Okay. Thank you. Say got lang loy puji tak sama
Great
tau.
job.
No, I think, this is curiosity. What did you do to get yourself fully immersed into that emotion? Because I can tell you, like, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
I do it myself. I actually do it a lot when I will feel my emotion, when tragic thing happen,
Yeah.
or you know, sometimes things just happen and it can be really bad. So there were times that things hurt me or betrayed.
Yeah.
Even friendship betrayal.
Yeah.
It took me a while. It took me a while to recover, but I will give myself time to immerse into that emotion, to feel the emotion, face the brutal truth. And it took me 1.5 years to bounce back. Because friendship betrayal, 7 years plus.
Damn.
Yeah, because it's like somebody that really betrayed your trust so much.
I see.
And then it has
But
gone.
you don't cry about it every day, right? It's just like linger in your mind.
Yeah,
right?
just linger
Then
and
you can still control. You can
okay,
be like,
that's true.
hey, this is a compartment where I still have lingering feeling, but that doesn't affect you to be non-functional.
No. I'll still
Correct.
do things normal, but I
Correct.
can feel that heavy, negative feeling that I don't like. But
Right.
I also have this workout that I do with myself,
Yeah.
where I would constantly tell myself, after 6 months, I must let go. I must move on.
Actually, that's the thing. The more you give yourself a target,
Mm-hmm.
the more it's harder to get through. Because it's different. Like when it comes to work,
Mm-hmm.
when you give yourself a target, like, oh, you have like 100,000 to hit
Yeah.
this month, fine, right?
Mhm.
You will move. But when it comes to emotion, the more you give, the more emotion you're giving yourself.
True.
So you are.
It was a
actually-
pressure there.
Yeah, you're actually adding that.
Adding more pressure, right?
Correct.
So how did you handle like one night or rather like 2 weeks? Do you have a method or you talk to yourself, you know,
Yeah,
like Sasha, shut down? What do you do?
okay, for example, like breakup, right? I will definitely fully immerse. Like I play a sad song, I cry, I punch my bed.
Okay.
and things like that.
Yeah,
And,
you must have an outlet, right?
Yeah, really, really sad. Just talk to all your friends, and then like just whine about it and things like that. And then when the time is right, like hey, I did have these emotions, right? But now what do I do with myself? Then I'll move on to actually find ways to get through it. Like I'll find all the questions and all the homeworks to do.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
actually I have like a few questions that's really good. I don't think this is the channel to talk about personal life, but I do have questions, really great questions that you ask yourself, and then when you finish answering, you will know what to do next.
Can you share the question?
Or
have to pay on
let me think. No, I'm not a relationship coach. Come on.
No. I think that's why I like this podcast.
Yeah.
Because every woman's journey is just different, and I want to portray and showcase this to the world to let them know that if you think that today your life is bad, there's somebody have gone through it.
Yeah.
And then with all this collective podcast that I have, I'm sure there are women out there would be see as a support pillar from your story, right? And there are ways or tools that you can overcome. Yeah. So, can you share
the question?
What's the question? I will still have to come back with that question.
So actually, everything in life, right? Why I can be so zen and
compose.
And compose. It's not because I don't have emotion. You can feel I'm a very passionate person. I definitely have a lot of emotion in me. Please.
No, when the first time I met you, I was like, wow, this lady.
Yeah.
Hello.
But everything is about your perspective. So if you can give yourself the right perspective, you can look at the things in a very positive light. I mean, not positive lah, but more like you can look at it in the way that it will not make you feel like you are the victim, you are so negative, you are in a very bad situation and things like that. You know where you are, and that's it. So like back to the questions that you wanted to know, like when you go through like breakup, right? Obviously, it's a sense of abandonment, it's a sense of rejection, right?
Yeah.
Then you have to take a look at all this and ask yourself questions. So some of the questions, if I remember correctly now, okay, one of it is like, you question yourself like, why am I getting rejected and stuff like that. So the question will be like, if this is so good, why did it end?
But if the person don't have an answer for it, then they ask.
You answer yourself, right? Like if it's so good, why did it end?
What if there are ladies out there? I know there are ladies out there. They ask question like that, and then they still play the victim circle. The cycle is still the same, where they're like, why if this is so good, why end? Because I'm not good lor. Maybe I didn't fulfill lor. They will go back that question like, maybe I'm not good enough for him. But I don't believe that any human, regardless man or woman, you are not good for each other, or you are lesser in some ways, because I do believe in true love. And true love is where each and every one of both of you do have something less. Therefore, the other person is not to fill the hole. It is to encourage you keep going to fulfill your own hole. So in this case, so what would you do if you have a friend? Let's say I cry I break up, then you come ask me. Then you ask me ask my own question. And then I tell you, Sasha, I don't think I'm good enough. That's why it's ended. How would you consult? How would you comfort me?
Okay, it depends lah. If let's say you are talking in that tone, meaning you don't think the relationship was good already. So I cannot ask you that question. My question was like, why would it end, right? I'm so sad that it ended because it was good, it ended. So that was the question for them. So if let's say someone is in the victim mindset, right? I think in order to get through is to let the person see that, she is sabotaging herself. So it's not about reflections of, hey, this is just a period
Yeah.
and you get through. So I don't think that questions will basically work for her. But if the person is basically saying that, oh, I'm not good enough and things like that,
Yeah.
maybe think about the person's like weakness as well. That would be nice to kind of just give yourself a perspective that yes, I'm not good, but the other person also not any better. You know, then when you have a level, like, you know, you're at the leveling ground,
Yeah.
then only you can do all the homework. Like, hey, now let's reflect, right?
Yeah, reflect. It's a very good keyword actually.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you end, some people will go U-turn back to the same relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely, if the person, like, if my friend is like that, then I'll definitely say, hey, why don't you tell me more about like things that you cannot stand him for, right? Some things that you feel like, you know, might turn you off and things like that. Just try your very best, so that we know that he's also human.
Yeah.
And he's not 100% like better than you or something.
Well,
Because the feeling that you have now,
yeah.
is because he makes you feel that you are less than enough. So you need to know that he is also not enough. Then whatever he say to you will not have so much strength anymore. Because if a person of 100 tells you you're 50, fine, I'm very sad. But if a person of 50 telling you that you're 50, so be it, right?
Yeah.
And then if a person of 10 telling you that you are 50, thank you.
Very good perspective. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I think there's so much energy and also like positive message and vibe that I can get from you, how you actually overcome your own challenges and overcome in terms of situation that you all face, like which is all the challenges, which I think this is the part that I think more people needs to know, that playing victim is not a solution, where sometimes you need to flip the coin over and see what else can you do so that you can move on with your life.
To be very honest, I used to be in victim mindset for a long time.
Oh yeah, I've been through as well.
Long, man.
Yeah.
So I know if you want to be in there, you have to know it's your choice.
True.
We are who
True.
we accept ourselves as.
Yep.
So if you complain about something and you complain about it for 3 months, you complain about it for 6 months, you already accepted this is going to be your life. So usually when people complain about the same thing for like 6 months, the next time I meet the person, it's like after like a year, she still complain about it, right? I stop giving advice or stop giving any attentions to whatever she says.
Yeah.
Because you already chose, you just love to feel special.
Yeah.
Being in that
spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you that is so obsessed that sometimes, you know, like I now choose to set my boundary, to reserve my energy, because you as a woman, we have only limited energy for things. We have family, we have, you know, career, we have our personal life. There's so much to juggle in a week, right? On a day to day. So then imagine you have someone who you have tried, you have saved, and then, you know, like it's still at the same cycle. Okay lah, I mean, if you talk about 3 months, 6 months, I can still, you know, be there for you.
Yeah.
But after that, you must make a choice.
Yeah, for sure.
What you want to do and where you want to go, because nobody owes you a life. You owe yourself. So if you don't pick it up, in my point of view, it is not people's fault. It's your own fault.
I mean, 6 months and you did nothing about it.
Yes, just lingering.
It's concerning, girls.
It is. Hey you all, thanks for following us and supporting us on our podcast. So stay tuned for the next episode. See you all.